สวัสดีครับวันนี้ร้อนมากๆฝรั่งไม่ดีพรุ่งนี้ฝนตก I just said to you weather very hot. Us Europeans don't like it, but we think tomorrow we have rain. Talking of rain, we're about 2 weeks away from cutting the rice at the moment, and the fields are pretty dry. They should be sort of like ankle deep in water, but they're pretty dry. We really do need some rain. We might get some today, later on today, maybe tomorrow. So we're keeping our fingers crossed, just that little bit, just for the last 2 weeks. But anyway, welcome to Mark's Thailand blog, October. I haven't done one for a couple of months because nothing really much has happened, really, to be honest with you. So I thought I'd save it up. But just like to say hello to you all. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon here at the moment, Saturday. It's actually a lovely, lovely day. A couple of little wispy clouds, but over in the distance over there I can see some black clouds. So we're keeping our fingers crossed for a bit of rain. Anyway, latest news. I think some of you might know. Mimi had an accident on the motorbike, which is not a rare occurrence over here in Thailand. 80% of all the road deaths are people on motorbikes. I think I stated before that car drivers, truck drivers, bus drivers, as far as bikes are concerned, they don't exist. They just pull out, don't look. You could be right on top of them and they just pull out in front of you. People have got this habit over here. If they come to a sort of a side road, nobody bothers to look. They just pull out. So if you're right on them, you're the one who has to swerve or brake, or it's ridiculous. I don't know. They put the onus on you. You're the one who's got to avoid them. Bloody scary sometimes, you know. You get to sort of realise it in the end, so you slow down, but it shouldn't be that way. But they've got a... I'll get back to Mimi's accident in a minute, because that was quite important. But they've got a sort of a law over here, which is good if people used it properly. If you come up to a T-junction, you've got a traffic light, if they're red, you're allowed to turn left if the road's clear. As long as you give way to the green light that's coming across you, you're allowed to do that. But unfortunately the Thais, it's like give an inch, they'll take them 2 kilometres. They just pull out anyway, because they know they're allowed to do it if the road's clear. They don't care about whether the road's clear or not. They will just pull out, But it's a good law because it keeps the traffic moving. It's a good law if people stuck by the actual rules, but unfortunately they don't. When it comes to driving, nobody sticks by the rules, or the Thais don't. And a lot of Falungs who live here, Europeans and foreigners, if they're here long enough, they tend to sort of copy the Thais, and they end up driving like arseholes as well in the end, some of them. But Mimi and I, we try and be so careful. We've both fallen off bikes before, and I don't know if anybody's ever fallen off a motorbike. It really hurts. I was just looking at some photographs with Mimi's daughter, showing her some old photographs when I come off a motorbike in Koh Chang, and even though I wasn't going very fast, I really, really hurt myself. And it was lucky I had a helmet on, because all down the side of the helmet was all scratched and bashed. And I was just showing her the pictures of the motorbike, and all one side of this motorbike was all caved in and smashed in, what have you. But anyway, just getting back to Mimi's accident. She was out driving along, and there was a truck delivering stuff by the side of the road to a shop. And she saw the truck there, didn't know whether there was people in the truck or not, so she put her indicators on, started to pull out, and the truck just pulled out and did a U-turn right in front of her, and she couldn't stop, and she put her brakes on, and of course the wheels lock, and the bike went over, and she skidded down the road. She was doing about, she said it was about 60 kilometres an hour, so what's that, about 40 miles an hour, something like that. And skidded along. Really, we thought she'd broken her thumb, but she's well, there is like a hairline crack in it, but she dislocated the thumb on her left hand, and it's all swollen up, and she had to have it she had like a temporary plaster put on it, like a plastic one, which she was allowed to take off at night, but then just put it on back on during the day. But she tries to, but her thumb's really, she can't really use it very well at the moment, so she can't poke me in the eye with it or anything like that at the moment. So that was quite nasty. She went to the hospital, and in the hospital, excuse me a minute, my mouth's a bit dry. That's the old homegrown water. In the hospital, packed with people. A good hospital, you know, nice and clean, and all the staff look clean and polite and pleasant. It's just full of young people, broken legs, broken arms, where they've had accidents on motorbike. One bloke sitting there with all steel pins in his leg, and you've never seen so many motorbike accidents in all your life. But if you were here and you saw the way they drive, you wouldn't be at all surprised. You know, I've seen them go down the road fast, texting, and like overtaking me on their motorbike while they're sending a text. Unbelievable. And I saw this woman. She's holding a tiny baby in her left arm. In the rain, it was raining, and she was driving her motorbike with one arm, with one hand, driving it with her right hand, holding the baby in her left hand, and it was raining. So that means she could only use the front brake. How dangerous is that, you know? Oh dear, they do take their life in their hand, you know. But as I say, I know I've said this many times, but the driving here is atrocious, absolutely atrocious. They drive down the wrong side of the road. They pull out, doing U-turns. They just pull out in front of you. You really do take your... Every time I go out on the motorbike, I actually wonder if I'm actually going to get back alive, you know. But I try and drive so carefully now, because I'm 63 now, and I don't want to fall off again, because it really hurts. But anyway, that's that with Mimi. She's on the mend, getting a lot better. She's a tough old bird. She was literally only like laid up for one day, and the next day she was back doing all that. She was out doing a bit of gardening with one hand, doing this with one hand, cooking with one hand, slapping me round the head with one hand. You know, she's the Thais, very hard people, like the Vietnamese, like during the war. Can't beat them. Tough as old boots they are. Tough as old boots. But there you go. Anyway, another bit of news. Over here, a lot of the people in the village, or in Thailand in general, what they do is they put life insurance on acquaintances, or, you know, maybe their family members or just acquaintances, you know. And they pay maybe, I don't know, £20 a month for this life insurance. They may pay it for a few years. Anyway, we've got some people just across the road from us who are like, they're one of these families that, well, let's put it this way, they put their house up like so they could get a loan, and they were within 2 weeks of losing their house right across the road from us. And one of their insurances came up. Somebody died, and they got something like 600,000 baht, which is 11 or 12,000 pound. Anyway, their house really needs a lot of work doing to it. You know, it needs a new roof, it needs painting. But what do? Oh, they go and buy new motorbikes. They've gone out and bought a new car on finance. So they put down a deposit. All the kids are all walking around with gold around their necks now, and they've got all new power tools, and they've been spending their money like it's going out of fashion. I think Mimi and I having a bet how long they're going to keep their car before it gets taken away. But people do make you laugh, don't they? They've got a house that looks like a pigsty with a brand new Isuzu truck parked in the driveway. To me, if it was me, I would put a new roof. You know, the house is the most important thing. You know, I would have got a new roof on the house, painted all the walls, got it all looking nice. You know, but they just spending it all on rubbish. You know. But anyway, Mimi's got a couple of these. She's got about 4 of these insurance policies, and So we're just waiting for our turn now. But they pay out. They actually pay out the day after the person dies. There's none of this mucking about. You get the money the next day. So they're really good things to have. They're a bit of a pain when you've got to pay them every month, but they're worth having, you know. And I think she's got her mum insured, her auntie, and there is one of the men in the village who's quite ill. And Mimi said to me, "Oh, so and so's not very well at the moment," and I have met the guy, but I keep saying, "God, die, please die." That sounds terrible, doesn't it? I don't really mean that, but you know, it's a good little thing to have. But anyway, so that's that. The latest news is we're, as I said earlier, we're about 2 weeks away from cutting the rice. So we've been going over the farm just to sort of check, because you have to get it so it's just right. You can't say, right, we're going to do that in 2 weeks' time. You have to wait until the rice spores or the rice seed literally goes dry. But if you leave it too long, it goes dry and falls over, so the rice falls onto the ground. So you have to really get it right. So when it's ready to cut, you have to get there, and you've got to work non-stop to try and get it. It's all done by hand. I think I did post some videos some years ago of me cutting it, but I was really slow in those days. Now I can keep up with everybody else. But it is hard work, and you've got to be careful of the snakes as well, because there's snakes about. But and you all know how much I just love snakes. But so you've got to be careful on that. But with the fact we've had no rain for the last sort of month or so, the farmers, we've been over there, and luckily Mimi's got quite a big lake, or minam as they call it, and they do use it for irrigation, but it can only feed about 3 of the fields. The water can't reach some of them, but so we're really keeping our fingers crossed, as I said, for some rain. And but anyway, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. This will make you laugh. I just said to Mimi, or Mimi said to me, she said, "Can we just go over the farm and check the rice?" And the thing is, over the farm, they got this funny little, what they call the bungalow, this thing made out of wood. If anyone's seen any of my old videos, you've seen it. And there's always loads of flies over there, and mosquitoes and what have you. It's not a comfortable place to sit. If you're working, then it's alright, you do your work and you come and sit in one of the hammocks for a little while, but just to go over there. But Mimi loves it over there, and I said to her, "I'll go with you as long as we're not there forever." I said, "I don't mind just a quick look and then we come back, but once she's there, that's it, you know, I can't get her away." But her mum was over there, and her mum looks after her sister's baby, and her brother was over there because he's on school, he drives kids to school, and they're on school holiday at the moment. And her mum was preparing lunch, and she said to me, "Oh, are you going to stay in Ginkao, eat food?" Mimi said, "Okay." She said, "Mark, do you want to come up and eat some food with us?" And I was a bit hungry. I said, "Yeah, okay." And they do a thing called papaya salad, which is quite nice, but they do it so hot it burns your mouth. And there was a few other little dishes. So I said to Mimi, "I'll just put me a little bit of some stuff on a plate," which she did. And I'm eating this. There was some funny meat, but it didn't look too bad. So I started chewing on this, and then she turned around to me. I was eating this papaya salad, and my mouth was on fire. How they can eat it like that, I don't know. So she turns around to me and said, "Do you want some more rat?" I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "What do you mean some more rat?" She said, "There, you've been eating it." I said, "Don't you tell me that was rat." Because they eat rat, and anything that fucking well moves, they eat it. Even if it doesn't move, they eat it. And I said to her, "Don't tell me you made me eat rat and you didn't tell me." She said, "Yeah." She pulls out of this big bowl of like stewy stuff, you know. She pulls out 2 big long teeth, like, you know, like rat's teeth, like fixed to this like upper jawbone sort of thing. Like, there's these like little rat's teeth. Look at. I said, "No, you're joking." I felt sick after she'd fed me rat. But anyway, it hasn't really affected me much, you know. Rat, I can't believe it. Ugh, horrible, horrible. But there you go. But I understand it's getting cold in England at the moment. Rain, I've been sort of hearing some stories and people coming back to me and telling me about the weather, and it just seemed like 5 minutes ago you were all baking to death, and it was so hot, you know. But I forget how quickly the weather changes in England, you know, because it's coming up to the end of October now, so I suppose it should be getting cold. I don't think I could stand the snow and the cold now. I'm never ever cold. I'm always warm or hot. In our bedroom we have a fan going. I don't put the air on. One, because it's bloody expensive to run that all night, but that's not the main reason. I've sort of got used to it a bit now, so we both have the fan on, because if it's warm in a bedroom I find I can't breathe very well, so the fan just like pushes air down into my face, you know, and down my throat, so that's quite nice. But you know, I'm growing my Santa Claus beard ready for Christmas, and you can see I did shave it all off, but I had too many chins, you know, so I thought, right, I'll grow the beard back. But anyway, that's the sort of latest news. Nothing drastic. I just thought I'd fill you in with the latest, and I might publish a few rat recipes on the internet, give you all a treat. And but oh yeah, when I found out this rat, I must tell you, there was 2 rat tails in it as well. They cooked the tails as well, and Mimi picked one of these rat tails up, and it was like that long, you know, rat tail, and she picked it. Just before she ate it, I said, if you eat that, I'm never going to kiss you again. And she just, you don't sort of eat the whole thing, you sort of like skim like this gelatinous meat off the, so you just put it in and like scrape it on your teeth, and you're left with like a rat bone, you know, tail. So you just, I thought, and I looked at her, I said, oh, don't you come near me. I said, don't you even talk in my direction after you've eaten rat. But I don't recommend it. They smell, you see them in the market, they sort of gut them and have them sort of spread out, and they leave all the guts in, and they just got this really horrible smell. There's nothing wrong with them, I suppose, because they're from the fields, so they're not like town rats, you know, they're not wallowing in sewerage or anything like that. They're literally just in the fields, so they're clean. And you know, they only eat, well, I don't know what do rats eat? I've got no idea. I don't know if they're vegetarian or what. But just the thought of rat, isn't it? Maybe if they were called something else, field mouse. That doesn't sound too bad. Oh yeah, I had field mouse actually. That was very nice. But rat just puts you right off, doesn't it? You know, especially being an ex-chef. You know, I wouldn't really fancy it. But I'm still baking all my bread, making bacon sometimes, which is quite nice. But I'm the only one that really eats it, because Mimi's eldest daughter's here. She's nearly 19 now. Well, she's 19 now. Her son is back he's not a monk anymore, he's back home, and we're trying to push him out to get a job. But trying to get him off the hammock and get him off his mobile phone is harder than you think. 16-year-old, and her other daughter's 11, and she's doing quite well at school. She's a little live wire, doesn't stop eating. It's in the fridge, in the fridge, in the fridge, she can't pass the fridge without going in there, seeing what she can do, what she can make. But anyway, last time I was on, I asked anybody if they want to send me some Galaxy chocolate. Nobody did, so thank you for that. I'm wasting away. Actually, talking of wasting away, I am now down to, when I was in the hospital the other day with Mimi, they got the scales in there, I weighed myself, and I'm 91 kilo. So that's down from, originally from 122 kilo down to 91 now. So I'm very happy with that. But, it's good. It's because I don't eat cake or biscuits or sweets, you know, sugary drinks. I tend to sort of stick to water, maybe have 1 or 2 cups of tea or coffee a day. I don't have sugar in that. And I do make my own cordial. We've got lemongrass everywhere, lemongrass plant. But over here, they're not like the ones you buy in England that are all like dry and like wood. These ones are almost like spring onion texture, and they're beautiful. You know, you pull them out the ground, and what I do is I boil those with fresh lime, sugar, boil them up to make a sort of like a lime and lemongrass syrup. I sometimes fuse that with tea to make like a lemon tea, let that go cold, and we use it as a cordial, or I sometimes make ice lollies out of it. You know how much I love my ice lollies, but they're so tasty, so refreshing. I don't smoke or drink, as you know. I've got this thing about ice lollies. I've almost got like a fixation about it, and it's absolutely beautiful and really tasty. So I make that from time to time. But anyway, I'm going to sign out. Really do miss you all. I do think about you a lot. I watch all your posts, and I speak to Kim now and again, like we send each other little jokes and what have you. But I'd just like to thank her for her help and understanding. Love you all, and I'll catch up very soon with you all. So you take care now. Bye bye.